I want to talk to you today about gray hair. And I don't want to talk about it from a trend or from a hashtag or anything like that because I decided to stop dyeing my hair probably 12 years ago. So at that time, it wasn't even a trend. But I did have a very pivotal moment. I was sitting in my stylist chair and she was rushing by. She was busy, right? You know, you go into a salon, it can be busy. There's like an energy of like, ooh, you know, we're all getting better, very superficially, I might add, and I'll just say that. Leave with what you. I love getting my hair done. Don't get me wrong. It's so nice for somebody else to take care of me. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the hum of it is about, kind of recreating something that might not necessarily be yours. This is through the lens of Nina Zapala, and this is what I felt like. And here's the comment that really made me understand this at a deeper level. I was sitting in the chair, and my stylist rushed past me and said, "Oh, wow, Nina, we got to get rid of those grays. You don't want to go out in the world looking old." I was like, whoa. And that stung. I mean, it really did. I was just like, I was kind of stunned. And I kind of put on a fake smile, and I looked in the mirror and I looked around, and some other women, like, they nervously, moved in their chair. Other women didn't even look up, and other women just kind of nodded to me, and because they felt it too. So, and my stylist was doing this to be kind. Like, she didn't want me to go out in the world looking old, right? And especially in a culture where we worship youth. So this time, like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, it's still prevalent, let's face it. But now, like, since it is more of a trend to go gray, it's a little bit more accepting. Like, gray hair is kind of cool. I mean, they just did the granny catwalks fashion show, all these gray hair women. It was like, yeah, this rocks. But then it wasn't as acceptable. But I think, I don't know, I think this casual comment, like, it not only did it stop me, like, the whole buzz of the salon came down a little bit. And the salon kind of got silent for just a minute, right? It's kind of like, everyone kind of stopped. And did what she say make us all reflect? I know it did for me. So it was in that moment that I thought to myself, I'm remembering, because I was going through a divorce at the time, this chorus of voices, it's a divorce at 50. Oh my God, you'll never get married again. You're too old. Why don't you just stay? And then you hear, oh, you need to redo your wardrobe. You need to dye your hair. You need to get a younger look. And this whole anti-aging paradigm came into play, which I don't like. Don't like that. I did at the time. I was buying into it. Now, some 13 years later, I'm on a path of being authentic to my true self, of living my best life, of going in and reconnecting to that inner body of self-worth that I actually built over the last 60 years. So her chair almost became, and I can't think of another word, but I'm going to say a confessional. Like, I was underneath my smile, I was confessing to myself, is this really me? And what it also made me realize is I had stepped into a marriage not being true to myself. And I did that twice, right? I was trying to be something I wasn't. I was trying to meet their needs, their expectations, and be this person they wanted me to be, right? So that's why it stung so bad, because I was sitting in the chair and this triggering moment came up and said, God, Nina, you're still doing it. You're dyeing your hair to be something that culture or society wants you to be, be at 50 and look like you're 30, whatever. What is that? I'm like, now I can say that was kind of like a cringe, right? But then I was like, yeah, I need to do that, because you're going through this horrible time in your life and you do feel unworthy. You do feel invisible. You do feel like you're not enough anymore. So you try to do things externally to lessen those lessen those thoughts. But the real path here is to get into those thoughts and walk through them. Feel that. Why do you feel that? Who's telling you that? Who's making you feel lesser than? And if it's yourself, you need to correct that. And if it's somebody else, well, they don't know you. They don't know your circumstances. They don't know what you've gone through. They don't know all your proud moments, all that you've accomplished. How could anybody else know that? So don't let the opinions of others, their ego-fed self, make you smaller than you are, because you're not. You're not that at all. You have to recognize that divine spark within and let it lead you, because it's powerful. You're powerful. And I'm not saying you have to be on stage, you have to be on some show, you have to be in all the media. You know how you're powerful? You're most powerful is when you live true to yourself. When you acknowledge yourself for who you really are and live that note, sing that song all day long, celebrate it. Because when you celebrate yourself, the world celebrates with you. And I gotta tell you too, since I've let my hair turn gray, I get so many compliments. And I'm not trying to feed my ego, and I don't think it's about my hair. I think it's because I'm being authentic with myself. And people feel that vibe, right? They're like, hey, your hair is so cool. And a lot of times it's young kids, and I'm just like, oh, thank you. They're like, well, who does your hair? And I'm like, it's natural. And they're like, really? I want to do my hair like that. I'm like, what's wrong with your red hair, black hair, green hair, pink hair, whatever, right? No, you be you. Just be you. I'm being me. I'm a 60-year-old woman with gray hair. That's who I am. I'm choosing this for me. It's my freedom. It's a freedom to be truly me, to be and embrace my true self, because that's where my self-worth lives. I don't know if this is helping you, but I wanted to share this with you because I don't know. When you build a life from truth, from who you really are, that's where real freedom is. That's how you can age authentically and feel good about it. And all the comments and all the cultural myths and the opinions of others just kind of fall away. And you're just out doing your thing. You know, you're shaping generations, whether you think so or not. Like when I talk to these kids, it could be at the UPS store. I'm talking to these young kids about being authentic. Like, just love your hair. It's gorgeous. Just love it. Love who you are, where you are right now in this season of life. That's what I'm doing. That's shaping generations. Those small comments. So it doesn't have to be some stage somewhere and winning some award or doing all that stuff. It doesn't have to be that. It could just be you offering a truthful, supportive opinion that you believe is true. And that's your truth. Because when you share your truth, you're spreading freedom. And it's the freedom for others to share their own truths. So that's my journey of gray hair. There's going to be a couple more videos. I'm going to talk about some other things about, you know, what I've learned, the truths of what I learned, and so forth. But that's all I got today. If you're interested, I do offer one-on-one sessions. They can be about, you know, coming into your true self. They can be about your travel style for self-awakening. They can be in your gift that you're here meant to be, to share as far as a business role, right? So there's all kind of things we can talk about. Visit the blog. There's a journal prompt. I hope you enjoy that. And I thank you for being here. I really do. It means the world to me. And I hate the whole follow, like, and subscribe, because you're all adults. You know that. I don't have to tell you what to do like we're in school. Follow. Well, okay, we get that, right? So you all are doing that. You all are great. If you're on this channel, I know you have a little bit of a wild seed in you, because I know I do. And like attracts like, as we know. But if you're here just for truth, and to be more free with yourself, I'm so glad you're here, because that's what we're going to be talking about. So you take care of you, and I'll talk real soon. All for now, Nina Zapala, spiritual personality typing.